Receiving critical feedback at work can often feel like a sudden, sharp personal attack, even when the person speaking to you has the best of intentions. It is a universal human experience to feel that internal tightening, that rush of heat to the face, or that immediate urge to mount a defense. This happens because our complex nervous systems do not always distinguish between a physical threat to our safety and a social threat to our self-image. Both scenarios can trigger the exact same biological stress response, flooding our systems with cortisol and adrenaline as if we were facing a predator in the wild. If you have ever felt your mind go blank or your heart start to race during a performance review, I want you to know that you are not failing and you are not weak. You are simply wired for survival. I am Gudrun from START-with-Gudrun, and in my years of career coaching, I have found that the most vital skill a professional can develop is the ability to receive difficult information without shutting down or reacting in a way they might later regret. To do this, we have to start by understanding the why behind our defensiveness. When we hear criticism, our brain's amygdala can register it as a threat to our belonging within the tribe. Because our ancestors relied on social standing for survival, a threat to our reputation felt like a threat to our life. Today, that same wiring makes us want to fight back, flee the room, or freeze entirely before our rational, thinking mind has even had a chance to catch up and process the actual words being said. The path to resilience begins with a simple but profound shift, the pause. The very first movement in this dance of professional growth is the silence you create between the words spoken to you and your first syllable in return. Taking a single deep breath changes the chemical quality of your response dramatically. It signals to your nervous system that you are safe and that there is no immediate need for a combat response. In that small window of time, you can silently remind yourself that you are capable of hearing this information without letting it define who you are. Feedback is merely data. It is information about a specific behavior or a specific outcome, but it is never a final verdict on your worth as a human being. Once you have found your breath, the next step is to mentally separate the information from the emotion. This requires a bit of internal detective work. You have to ask yourself what the actual message is once you strip away the sting of the delivery or the bruised feelings of your ego. Somewhere inside that difficult conversation, there is likely a piece of gold, a specific insight or a different perspective that could actually help you reach the next level of your career. By sifting through the feedback to find what is useful and consciously choosing to let go of the parts that are not, you regain your power in the situation. You become a curator of your own growth rather than a victim of someone else's opinion. When it finally comes time to speak, I encourage you to respond from your values rather than your defenses. Instead of explaining why the other person is wrong or listing all the reasons why a mistake wasn't your fault, try a phrase that buys you the space you need to process. Saying something as simple as, "Thank you for sharing that with me. I'd like to take some time to think about what you've said and then come back to you," is a sign of immense professional maturity. It shows that you take the input seriously, but that you are also in control of your own emotional state. The professionals who grow the fastest and climb the highest are not the ones who never receive criticism. In fact, they often receive the most because they are constantly pushing boundaries and taking risks. The difference is that they have learned to process that criticism without being derailed by it. They view feedback as a tool for refinement, a way to sharpen their skills and move forward with greater clarity. True resilience is a muscle that we build every time we choose curiosity over defensiveness. I would love to hear from you about how you handle those moments that sting. Do you have a specific mantra or a technique that helps you stay calm when the feedback gets tough? Please share your thoughts below so we can all learn from one another. Thank you for being part of this journey toward emotional resilience at work, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for more practical tools. Do not forget to register for the free masterclass. You find the link in the first comment.